Hi, welcome back to Colorado and Company. Thank you so much for being with us. I'm Denise Plant. Altar of Resistance is a book that takes you back to 1939. Pope Pius was the 12th, and he was deeply involved in a highly secretive plot to actually topple Adolf Hitler and his Nazi regime. The Pope's code name was the Chief. And here to share more of the story, Colorado-based and #1 Denver Post best-selling author Samuel Marquis. Good to see you.
Hi, Denise. Great to be here.
So Altar of Resistance is your 6th novel, and my goodness, the 2nd book in one of 3 very different series. How do you stay disciplined and focused to produce such great novels?
It's called a midlife crisis, and I just love to write great historical thrillers. And so I just work at it constantly and enjoy doing it.
Well, you're doing an excellent job. You have a series of World War II books. The Altar of Resistance, why is that important in the lineup?
Well, Altar of Resistance is an important book, for World War II in general, because it's sort of overlooked compared to D-Day and the sort of everything that led up to D-Day with the double-cross spy system. So it involved more of the I think it involved the largest, most diverse number of countries in the World War II. And also it was the only one that involved the Pope as a major figure who was under the German occupation.
And it was Pope Pius the 12th.
Pope Pius the 12th.
How did he help in the takedown of Adolf Hitler?
Well, the Pope was involved in 3 plots to assassinate Adolf Hitler, and he met in his quarters with the British Minister of the Holy See, Sir Darcy Osborne, and he had a number of cutouts in Rome and was involved in 3 plots to kill Adolf Hitler throughout from 1940 through 1944.
Oh my goodness. Would you mind reading a part of the book?
Sure, I brought one here.
Okay.
So this is from chapter 1. It kind of describes the opening scene. So from 1939 through 1944, Pope Pius XII was deeply involved in a highly secretive plot to topple Adolf Hitler and his Nazi regime, acting as an intermediary between German generals plotting to overthrow Hitler and the British government. Very few affiliated with the Holy See were even aware that he had committed himself to the tyrannicide of the Fuhrer. In fact, no one in the Secretariat of State, not even his closest advisors, had been let in on the secret. And that was how Eugenio Pacelli, once a boy wandering the streets of Rome, and now the city's supreme pontiff, wanted to keep it. His code name was the Chief. His war to topple Hitler was a secret war. His Catholic Church, a church of spies, and Vatican City, with its warren of diplomats, was un covo di spie, a cave of spies. Together, the muscular Allied army marching northward from southern Italy, the courageous Roman partisans and Pius XII sought to liberate the Eternal City from German oppression. Together they formed an altar of resistance.
Samuel, I have to pick up this book. It's like dun dun dun. I can't wait to find out what's next. What have you learned? I mean, this has been a wonderful journey for you, but what have you learned over the progress of these books?
Well, I think one of the most important things with regard to Pope Pius XII is, he was regarded in the late 80s and in the 90s and even up to 2000 as Hitler's Pope by a book by John Cornwall, a British author, who wrote this book called Hitler's Pope. Once I dug deep into the history of Pope Pius and the Vatican and the resistance of Pope Pius to Hitler, I discovered that he wasn't Hitler's Pope at all. He was Hitler's assassin. So that's what I bring out in the book. The newest research, a lot of it's based on Church of Spies by Mark Riebling, a new book that came out about 3 years ago. And so I work in the latest research over the last 5 years to show a different side to the Pope. I'm still hard on him, because to some extent I think he could have spoken out more against, against the Holocaust. But he did save 4,000 Jews in Rome were hidden on Vatican properties throughout the war, and it could have been more. That's what Sir Martin Gilbert, a British historian, estimates.
Yeah, I can see how excited you are just talking about this. When and how did you get so involved and interested in military history?
Okay, here's the funny story. When I was a kid, I grew up with my dad, and he used to take me every Sunday to Colfax, the old Aladdin Theater, and we used to watch things like, Patton, Where Eagles Dare, The Wild Bunch. So I got these sort of Westerns and World War II, movies over and over, and I just loved doing it. So it's sort of been an obsession since I was a little kid, military history, and it's from seeing all those movies in the late 60s and early 70s, World War II thrillers, and and Westerns.
Well, and quickly, I need to say congratulations to you, because I understand, is it the Coalition that is up for an award, and you find out for Best Thriller here in Colorado Sunday?
Yes, it's the Coalition is my political thriller that I wrote,
Yes.
and it's up for the 2016 Colorado Book Award for the Thriller of the Year. And I find out this Sunday. I'm a finalist right now.
Yes.
But I hopefully,
up top, Samuel.
I hopefully will win
Take it
on
home,
Sunday.
baby.
Hopefully.
All right, you could take a step back into history to experience a high-energy, rollicking adventure through the lives of real people resisting the Nazi German occupation of the eternal city of Rome. Please visit his website to find out more. Go to SamuelMarquisBooks.com. That's SamuelMarquisBooks.com for your copy of Altar of Resistance, and to learn more about the other novels from author Samuel Marquis.